Hello, welcome to Elite Chess. Dion Goradema here. Today I'm going to teach you how you can stop blundering in your games. Now, for many chess players, particularly for players below 2000, if we are honest, or even less than 2200, many of the games are usually lost because someone has made a serious blunder or a mistake. So which leads us to conclude that if you just learn to stop blundering pieces, particularly at a level less than 1000, 1600, just stopping making blunders will get you far in chess. Because let's get a definition. What is a blunder? So a blunder is usually a move that changes the result of a position significantly. Say if you are winning, if you make a blunder, you are suddenly losing the game. There is no chance to come back anymore. Or if you are making a draw, if you make a blunder, now you are losing. Or sometimes you are winning completely and you make a blunder, now the game is a draw. So a blunder is a very serious mistake, and usually it involves blundering a piece, blundering pieces, blundering pawns, or checkmate. So how can you try and fix this? There is a very famous chess quote that says 40 good moves are not enough to win the game. One bad move loses the game, and this is unfortunately true. And I'm sure you listening, you can agree that there are some games that you have been completely winning, and just by one blunder the entire game is just gone away from you. So I would like to help you to avoid this. So the technique that I'm going to teach you in this video is called the blunder check. Right? That's what it is called. Before you make any move, it is always important that you must check if your move is a blunder. It sounds simple and it sounds like it's I'm playing games with you, but this is really a technique that must be trained if you are really serious about getting rid of the blunders you make. I learned this technique from Grandmaster Daniel Nereditsky in one of his chess videos, and I think he said he learned it from very famous chess grandmaster, chess trainer, and chess coach Jacob Agard. But it is a very important question to practice asking yourself. And this is just another thing on the side, if you will, a bonus thing. Many chess players make blunders or mistakes because they don't have a step-by-step thinking process. Their thinking process is haphazard. It's all over the place. It's like paint thrown on the ground. There is no direction to how they think. They just make moves. Just calculating the first move that you see is like climbing up a ladder and realizing that the ladder is against the wrong house. You wanted to be on the roof of your own house, but now you're on the roof of the neighbor's house because you didn't care enough to pay attention to all the possibilities that you have. So that's another thing that you must try and avoid, is just playing the first move that comes to mind. That's usually the biggest reason blunders happen, is you just play the move because you think it's the best move and you don't spend any time considering other moves. One of the former world chess champions that was a world champion for about 26 or 27 years, which is the longest run by any world champion, Emmanuel Lasker, has famously said, if you find a good move, find a better move. And this is extremely true. It will really help you a lot in your chess by just practicing this, because it's not enough to just watch this video and then you stop making blunders. After watching this video, I would really recommend that you spend a lot of time practicing this question. Maybe find like 20 to 30 games on a database, or even you can choose your own games, and then start from move 5, asking the same question. Before you make a move, is my move a blunder? If you do this for an average chess game is about 40 moves. So if you do this 35 times for every game, even if you just do 10 games, and you say 35 times 10, you have asked yourself this question 350 times already, and you are suddenly making a habit of it, and your brain is recording this pattern until to the point where it becomes an automatic thing. You just find the answer, you just find that question in your thinking process. But I must make sure that it is clear, this is a hard process and it takes time, so you must be patient as you are learning it. But let's go into the position that you see here on the screen. So in this position, you are playing with the white pieces, and I would like for you to take time. You can pause the video. I would recommend, if you want to, you could pause the video and try to understand this position, and then I'll give the solution and the process of how to really tackle these positions to avoid blunders. Okay, if you haven't paused the video, I just kept silent a bit just to give you time to look at it. So the first thing that you must do, of course, before you even think of is my move a blunder, the first thing you need to do is you must always ask yourself this question. So in this video, you are really learning two questions to take part to use in your thinking process. And the first and most important question in all of chess is this: what does my opponent want to do? So in this position, before you even thought of your moves as white, your first thought must be, what does my opponent want to do? And that is the most important thing you can ask yourself as a chess player. Chess is about asking questions, but the right questions, of course, because the right questions lead to good answers. So here, what does the opponent want to do? We can see that black wants to checkmate us immediately, just in one move. All right, so that is a very serious threat. Very, very serious threat, and we need to do something about this. We need to do something about this, and we need to find a way to stop that plan. So how would we go about stopping this plan? That is the question, and that's where our calculation will be focused on. So of course, the first thing that one needs to look for is to look for checks when we are calculating any position. Even when we are trying to defend it, we have a few checks. We can capture this rook check, the queen takes, that loses the queen. We can give check here, but the bishop can take, that loses a bishop, and we are still not defending the threat. So here we see that there is a few issues, but this threat needs to be defended for sure. We can't put the rook here, it will be captured. We can't put the rook here, it will be captured. So there is not that many options for us, because here we can see that the opponent will win if you make a careless move. So I hope that you spend time trying to understand the position, and also me speaking, I hope you're also learning this thinking process. It's all about having an organized thinking process. This way you really see how to see many options. You are not just rushing with the first move that comes to mind. You see all the possibilities and remove the ones that are clearly bad. And you can see I'm not even calculating very far. I'm just looking and stopping into a point where I can see that is just a lost position. So here, the move in this position that looks interesting is bishop e4. But now, before we get excited and play bishop e4, we must ask this question: is my move a blunder? So bishop e4 defends the threat. Of course, it's losing the bishop, but there is a trick. If I play bishop e4, I'm calculating that after rook takes e4, that is not possible because I checkmate black with queen f8 checkmate. And if the queen takes the bishop, now this bishop check I wanted to work earlier now works. I can give check, the king is checkmated, so the bishop must take, and then I play queen takes f6 check, the king must move to g8, and now I have a perpetual check. Because unfortunately for white, as it stands already, which is something that I should have mentioned, firstly we must just know what is happening. White is down a pawn and they're being checkmated, so white can only really hope to make a draw in this position for now. Can't try to play for winning chances in a position that's well, black has better chances of winning than white. So white has to find ways to defend. So let us see bishop e4. Let us compare, and you can see bishop e4, the only drawing move, and easy to find. They say easy, of course, but as you were seeing me do the process, and of course if you found it very good, well done, good job. You have very good defensive skills. But also the key thing that I really wanted you to take out is that very important question. What does my well, two questions. What does the opponent want to do? We saw what they wanted to do, and how can we stop the opponent from doing what they want to do. And before we do that, is my move a blunder? So bishop e4, the only drawing move and easy to find, as black's mate threat means white has no other sensible try. Like, the position is not good enough. Rook g1 is a mistake. We are just losing everything. Even queen check, you can just put it on the board. The position is terribly lost. It's checkmate, so mistake, and then yeah, there comes check. The queen must give itself up, and then it's checkmate. So after queen takes e4, of course, like we also looked at these lines. So you see, before we played the move bishop e4, we had calculated these possibilities already, which is what you want to train. By calculating through the possible moves slowly, please, slowly, and trying to make sure you watch out for any surprise move the opponent has, you can avoid many blunders. And then of course this is the idea. And then we have perpetual check. The king will be checked until the opponent must take a draw. Okay, one position before we finish the video. So again, I would advise for you to pause, to spend some time seeing what is happening, and then coming up with a move. Okay, so in this position, we must always ask ourselves, what does the opponent want to do, right? So the opponent here, if white had to move, that's all. If you really want to figure out what does the opponent want to do, you can even give the opponent a second move. So in this position, white wants to play queen to c8 check. The king can only go to h7. They'll play queen d7 check. The king must go to h8 or g8, and then they want to checkmate us on g7 next move. So we can say, this is a very serious position. We are going to be in serious trouble if we don't do anything. So we need to find a way to act quickly. And here we can see the material. Always important to count the material. We can see that we are down with 2 pawns. So here in this position, we can't really be playing for winning chances. And the reason I mention this is that if you know how you should be playing, you won't try to play for a win in this position. Because sometimes the reason why blunders are made is you are trying to play for a win in a lost position. So let's see if you found the move. Okay, so there is an idea here for stalemate. Because the king is in the corner, we can try to play for stalemate. It's the only way for us to survive this position. And here, if you had calculated queen takes check, very good, well done. So that's the idea. But before we play, that's what we are really trying to learn, is my move a blunder. Queen takes h6, we have to see it until the end. King captures, is check, right? So if the king captures, now I see the final position, what is happening. My king has no legal moves. It's a draw. So then I can say for sure, if white captures here, it's a draw. But if white doesn't take, and white plays, say, king f5, what then? You know, but then we can just start giving the opponent some checks. We just keep checking their king, because the king is very exposed, and we'll find some way to get a perpetual check. So we'll be happy with that, and we have reduced the material advantage. So yeah, the other move is not very practical. Queen d2 check is not very good. If you found queen d2, it looks like there's checks, but this move is not, because here now if you take, you are losing the game. But the only move that would have worked is king h7. But during a game, you would really need to calculate perfectly like a computer to see such moves. So usually you don't want to calculate these complicated lines. Always stick with the easy moves. Make sure before the move is my move a blunder. And then here, as we can confirm, queen h6, queen d2 is complicated, as I've said. During the game, it's not easy to see it, right? To find this king h7, it's not easy to see it during the game. So in a practical game, you are trying to always play moves that are easy to find and simple, which is what queen takes h6 does. So those are some of my recommendations on uh, how you can stop blundering in chess. Two important questions to take away: always be concerned with what the opponent wants to do, right? Always ask yourself, what does the opponent want to do? And number two, before you make any move, you must ask yourself, is my move a blunder? And these questions, you must practice them many times until it becomes part of your thinking process. That is the goal, that you start thinking this way and really try to strive to have an organized thinking process in chess. Don't just play chess without a clear way of thinking that is structured. So I hope that this will help you in your chess journey. And again, I must recommend that you really take time to practice this. So I hope that you found it useful and that it will help you with your chess career. So yeah, thank you again. This is Dion Gorodema from Elite Chess, and I would like to invite you for some of my coaching packages. If you are interested, there is a game analysis package. It's 2 hours for 300 Rand. It's there on the website. If you go on the website, you see game analysis package, 300 Rand for 2 hours. I would like to help you further in your chess and give you more advice and training plan to really help you improve. So thank you again, and as always, keep chessing. Bye bye.